Hello EDN 325 students, Corinne Edwards here to discuss with you your WebQuest assignment on Famous Mathematicians, which is due December 2nd. So to start off with the assignment, the first thing you want to do is go to the website famousmathematicians.edn325.weebly.com. Once you have the website pulled up, you'll go ahead and read the introduction, which says, have you ever wondered who thought up a certain mathematical concept? Did you ever want to know who created the Pythagorean theorem, who discovered pi, or who was the first woman mathematician? Do you ever think about what a mathematician looks like? So maybe these thoughts aren't keeping you up at night, but through this WebQuest and the products that you and your peers will create, you will be able to answer these questions and many more. So if you just go across the top, there's a few tabs to click on. So for your task, you are going to study a famous mathematician. So you're going to use the internet and other resources in order to look up your mathematician and learn as much as you possibly can about him or her. So to do that, you are going to click on the Process tab, and then underneath Task 1, you are going to select your famous mathematician. So if you click on that tab there, a box is going to pop up with all of the famous mathematicians that you can choose from. Now, you do not have to choose one that's on this list if you do not prefer to. If there's one that you really are interested in searching and learning about, you are more than welcome to do that, but please email Dr. Hargrove to get permission before you do one. Also, once you have selected one off the list, please also reach out to Dr. Hargrove to make sure that no one else has selected your mathematician, because each group is only allowed to have one. So let's just scroll down the task list and just read together. So after you have selected your mathematician, you are going to begin researching the major aspects of his or her life. So to find the needed information, you will access internet sites or utilize the different resources from the library. So here are some websites to consider during your search. I typically recommend staying away from Wikipedia and things like that, but you know, the internet is full of great resources, so it's really up to you where you search and how you search. During your project, you are going to have to make sure you keep the following in mind. These are required to be incorporated into your project. So these questions that you see here, they are not recommendations. They absolutely must be included into your project in order to get full credit. So under your mathematician's early years, where and when was your mathematician born? What was his or her full name? Did your mathematician ever change his or her name and why? Discover information about your mathematician as a child and about his or her family. What was his or her early education prior to college, if they went to college? Did your mathematician's childhood affect his or her career in mathematics? So underneath the early years, you want to consider all of those questions and include all of them in your project, not just one or two. So, and follow that same thing for college life and or mathematical training. You want to include both the questions. Mathematician's accomplishments, you want to include all 5 of those questions. Your mathematician's later years, you want to answer all 3 of those questions. And then let's talk about photos. So you want to find at least one photo or image of your mathematician. You will also need at least 2 other photos of his or her work which represents what he or she did. You will also need to have a minimum of 3 different and reliable resources to tell the story of your mathematician. I would definitely recommend having more than 3 if possible. So task 3, now that you've collected your information, you may begin to create your online display, which is due on or before December 2nd. The following free technology tools will aid you in creating your final project. There are 3 possible online programs listed here. But if you have another Web 2.0 tool that you'd rather use, or if you have another idea of how to display your mathematician's information, please let Dr. Hargrove know. For this assignment, you need to go beyond creating a PowerPoint or a Prezi or a website. The idea is to create a virtual image to display all of the information. When you submit your assignment on Blackboard, you will only need to send her the web address to your online display. So only the web address she needs, not a huge file. So here's a few sites to look at down here. And then task 4, your online display must be complete and ready to share in class on December 2nd. When you come to class, make sure that you have a working web link and be ready to give a 5-minute presentation on your mathematician. So not only are you doing the project, but you need to also practice presenting your project before you come in to make sure you have a really good presentation for each of your classmates to hear. As you listen to your peers and view their online displays, you will need to answer the attached reflection questions. So let me pull those up really quick. So these are the reflection questions that you'll be answering while you listen to your classmates, and you can find those on the link on this site also. So let's just go back to the assignment website, and now let's click on the evaluation tab. So here you'll see the rubric for this assignment. Just some advice: whenever I do assignments in the EDD department, I normally only look at the column that gives you the maximum amount of points, and I do those things. I don't even look at the other two columns because I know that I want to do a perfect project. So that would be my recommendation to you. But this does have the entire rubric for the project. And in conclusion, your mathematician's online display must be completed and submitted by December 2nd. Through this project, I hope that you will see that these many mathematicians have influenced and contributed to the mathematical world, but also had their own personal story. Having your future students explore the different and complex lives of mathematicians may help them see that these brilliant individuals were real people as well, and not necessarily different than them. So, and then there's a reference tab on everything that you've seen on the project today. So, good luck with this project, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me at ces2927@uncw.edu. You can also text me or give me a call, 910-548-1572. So good luck with the project, and I can't wait to see your work.